Okay. This is story time from the Upside Down with your host, Razi Lee. And we're going to tell you your first bedtime story from the universe of the Raziverse. Coming at you. I love it, you love. So, here we go. We need some music. Well, if the music plays. All right, this is our first time. You expect problems. Be gentle with me. All right. Here we have Risey, Rebecca, McGivern, and Toby. Now, these are my cousins, and we've been injusticely arrested. Here is the statements that have been made. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a dull, unforgiving glow across the intake corridor. The four of them stood in line, wrist-bound in cold steel, orange fabric still stiff from being issued minutes ago. No one spoke, not because they couldn't, but because for once there was nothing left to argue. Oh shit, they don't argue now? It hadn't started this way. Oh shit, you doing the fucking goddamn thing a week earlier? Oh well, here we go. A week earlier, they weren't inmates. They were a crew. Raz, the red-haired one. Oh, now I'm called Raz? I don't like that name. The red-haired one. The far left had always been the spark, loud, reckless, impossible to ignore. He lived for the rush, whether it was street fights, illegal races, or jobs that paid too well to ask questions about. The tattoos spiraling down his arm weren't just decoration. Each one marked a job survived. Next to him stood Nix, the quiet center of gravity, sharp-eyed, calculating, always 3 steps ahead. She didn't trust easily, but when she did, it meant something. She was the one who planned their operations, who made sure they got in and out clean. Then there was Cade, the masked one. No one really knew his past, and he preferred it that way. He joined them 6 months ago, drifting in like a shadow, efficient, precise, dangerous. He spoke little, but when he did, people listened. And finally, Jet, the one on the far right, the strongest of them, both physically and morally. He was the one. He was the only reason the crew hadn't torn itself apart long ago. When Raz burned hot, Jet held the line. Fuck you, Jet. He's not even that buff. Hey, you're the same size as me in Fortnite, bro. Alright. Sorry, that's my commentary. They weren't criminals in their minds. They were survivors. The job that broke them was supposed to be simple. A data extraction, one night, high security facility, sure, but Nix had cracked harder systems before. The payout was enormous, enough to despair, enough to finally walk away. One last job, yo! Ow! They almost made it. The alarms didn't trip until they were already inside the core vault. That's when everything went wrong. Someone tipped them, Nix had said, her voice low and steady, even as sirens screamed around them. Those fucks! Raz swore. Jet clenched his fists. And Cade said nothing. Security flooded in faster than expected. They weren't surrounded. They were surrounded within minutes. Escape routes collapsed, one by one. What should have been a clean exit turned into a desperate scramble through service tunnels and maintenance shafts. At one point, they had a choice. A narrow corridor, one door, too many guards behind them, split up, Raz shouted. No, Jet said. We stick together. But Cade stepped forward. I'll hold them, he said. Calm as ever. Nick's eyes narrowed. That's not the plan. It is now. Oh no! No! Cade! Before anyone could argue, he turned and disappeared back down the corridor toward oncoming flood of security forces. He's gonna take on 12 guards. Gunfire echoed moments later. They made it out, barely. But it didn't matter. By morning, their faces were everywhere. Wanted, dangerous, armed, and Cade? Question mark, gone. No body, no trace. 3 days later, they were captured. Not in some dramatic standoff. Not in a blaze of glory. In a safe house they thought was secure. Raz had been the first to realize this place is compromised. Nix didn't even need to check. She already knew. They didn't find us, she said quietly. Jet looked between them. Then how? And that's when the door exploded inward. Back in the present, the four of them stood in silence because Cade hadn't died in the corridor. He made a deal. Cade, you piece of shit! The mask hid most of his face, but not his eyes. They flickered briefly toward the others, not with guilt, not with a regret, but something harder to read. Understanding, maybe? Or resignation? Raz's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. Nick stared straight ahead, her expression unreadable. Jet exhaled slowly, shoulders heavy. They all knew the truth now. They'd been sold the fuck out! Not our malice, but survival. And in the end, wasn't that what they all believed in? The guard at the front barked an order. Chains clinked as they were led forward, one step at a time, deeper into the system. None of them had ever planned to enter. The crew was finished, but their story wasn't over. You fucking piece of shit. What was that cunt's name? Cade. You fuck. Traitor! There will be blood. There will be follow-up stories. You will fucking feel my pain, Cade. Betrayal. All right, this has been Stories from the Upside Down by your host, Razzie Lee. Lick it, love it, dig it. Don't forget to back my ongoing projects. Cringe Island, Cyber Ninjas, Graveyard Monsters, Lone Hero. Yeah, I've got so many projects. All of them are on shelves in local comic book retailers. I just work under a pen name. All right, love yous.